Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Just a quick announcement. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. If I can ask everyone to rise if able.
hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh. Language.
Thank you. Thank you, David. That was amazing. Not only is David an amazing singer and drummer, he's a great dancer, and his beadwork is amazing. And thank you, Simone, for being here, his mom. And I'm actually wearing a skirt that your sister made, Amanda Fox. So amazing family. So my name is Sheila Grantham. I'm the Indigenous Pedagogy and Curriculum Consultant within Learning and Teaching Services here at Algonquin. I just want to say thank you everyone for coming, and a special thank you to these children. I could see them enjoying the music, and that's so important. Um, you know, my great-grandmother went to a residential school, and he did run away because he wanted to be with his community, with his family. And Indigenous cultures, we never thought of education as separate from where the children would be. So it's really important that the children are a part and invited here at Algonquin College today. So I would like to invite the CEO and President Claude Brûlé to come up and say a few words.
Thank you very much, Sheila. Please be seated, for those who can. So good morning, bonjour, kwe. As Sheila said, my name is Claude Brûlé. I'm the president and CEO of Algonquin College. As we begin, I would like to recognize and acknowledge that today's gathering and event is taking place on the unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. We give thanks to all the generation of Anishinaabe Algonquin people for allowing us to be on this land and taking care of this beautiful land. We value their contributions, and we value the contributions of First Nation, Inuit, Métis, and other Indigenous peoples who have and continue to shape and strengthen this community, this province, and our country. Today is a very special and important moment for all of us because it marks National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. And it's also Orange Shirt Day, as you can see from everyone's wearing a shirt here today. Algonquin College takes great pride in its commitment to making Indigenous knowledge, truth, and reconciliation an integral part of all we do as part of our Algonquin College culture. We take this commitment seriously, from supporting, implementing recommendations from the 2015 Truth and Reconciliation Commission, from supporting our Indigenous learners who choose Algonquin College for their post-secondary studies through the services that we deliver at our Mamadosin Center and all other areas of the college, to supporting our faculty in incorporating Indigenous pedagogy and ways of knowing into our curriculum with the assistance of two Indigenous personnel. We have Sheila here, Sheila Grantham, and Carrie Potts as well. I'm not sure, is Carrie here? Hi, Carrie, good to see you. Our goal and intent are clear. We're committed to listening. We're committed to understanding and sharing Indigenous knowledge with our learners and our employees. Like you, we were all shocked and saddened by the discoveries of unmarked grave at former residential schools across the country back in 2021. Some were discovered, but some we knew about. Elders, people with knowledge had told the commission all the way back, even before the commission sat down and began taking testimonies. So to claim that they were all completely discovered, not quite so. We've known this for a long time, but people are still shocked at what is being seen as discoveries of unmarked grave, and it's hard to fathom. Let's pause for a second and look at the wee ones here for a minute. Can we imagine people coming and taking our children, sending them hundreds of miles away to be educated, some of them never coming home victimized, traumatized, and having this trauma go on for generations. We have a lot to atone for. And a day like today, a moment of reflection, of observance, is meant to take us on this journey of reconciliation. So we gather here in somber, solemn recognition of all of this as part of this journey towards reconciliation. And now I would like to introduce Michael Deshotel, community knowledge keeper and Indigenous rights advisor. Now, we're fortunate to have Michael with us today, who's going to share some knowledge through the Indigenous oral tradition of storytelling. Michael.
I am so overwhelmed at the number of people that are here today. You know, I've been attending events similar to this for most of my adult life. And the fact that the numbers keep on growing send a real strong message to Indigenous people. And we welcome and thank you very much for it. So Tanishi, Anin, Kwe, Tanzi, Ulakut. I've just said hello to you and brought greetings to you in 5 different Indigenous languages. Tanishi is in the Michif language, the language of my people. Anin is Anishinaabemowin, the language of the Ojibwe people, which is my Indigenous heritage. Kwe is a traditional greeting of the Algonquin people. And I want to thank Claude for acknowledging that we are on their unceded, unsurrendered territories. What was the 4th word I said? Tanzi, which is, I have a paper because I forget stuff. Tanzi is a Cree word, the traditional Cree greeting, and Ulakut is in the Inuktitut language, the language of the people of the North, the Inuit. So, why are we here? Oh, no, I forgot one thing. The first thing I want to do is acknowledge again what Claude had said earlier, that the commitment that has consistently been demonstrated by the staff, the faculty, and the management and students of Algonquin College has been magnificent and well regarded within the Indigenous community. And we thank you for the leadership that you've demonstrated to other places of learning. But I want to begin my comments by talking to you folks, because you're the reason that we're here today. And you're probably wondering what's going on. Why is everybody wearing orange shirts? Why am I wearing an orange shirt? What can this all mean? And I'll tell you that today, it's about love. You said it. Now, can any of you tell me who loves you? I bet your parent or parents love you. I bet if you have brothers or sisters, they love you. There's several people around you that love you. And a long time ago, when I was just a boy, around the time I was a boy, there was a woman. Her name was Phyllis. And Phyllis's mother loved her very much. Very, very much. And someone in the government of the day thought that it would be best for people like me, for Indigenous people, to go to a residential school, which is a school that's far away from home. So they wouldn't get to see their mom and dad very often, or their dads or their moms or whatever the family constellation was. They didn't get to see them very much. And Phyllis's mom knew that. And she didn't want her daughter to be scared at the new school, and she didn't want her to feel bad about herself. She wanted to feel good. So what Phyllis's mother did was she gave her, made her an orange shirt that she looked so pretty in. She loved this shirt. And she wore it to school on her first day. And she was very proud of the way she looked in this new shirt she was given. But when she got to the school, the teachers took that shirt away. They wanted all the kids to dress the same way. So she lost that shirt. And Phyllis remembered that and remembers that till this day. And it was her that fought really hard to get the recognition of September 30th, marking both National Truth and Reconciliation Day, but also as a way to fulfill call to action number 80 from the report of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It said that people, all Canadians, need to be educated about the realities of residential schools. So today you guys are wearing shirts, orange shirts, so that you know that everybody here loves you in the same way that Phyllis's mom loved her. So I'll now turn to the grown-ups a little more. Speaking of love, I have 4 children, and I have 4 grandchildren. And I love them with all I got. I'm the guy who will walk into a supermarket or a grocery store and take out my phone and say to a perfect stranger, "Can I show you this picture of my granddaughter yet? Isn't she beautiful?" There's a reason I told you that, and it'll come up in a minute. About 10 years ago, I met my soulmate. And I knew almost right away that she was going to be my life partner. But I didn't want to mess it up. I was part of the 60 Scoop. I was born in a Métis community in Manitoba. And when I was less than a year old, I was taken and given up for adoption, and was adopted by a white family in the city of Winnipeg. Good people, they did the very best for me that they could, but we didn't have a bond. We didn't have anything in common, and I knew it right from the get-go. And shortly after that, my adopted mother passed away. So as you might expect, as I got older, I started to develop issues. I would engage relationships I was in. I would not be very forthcoming. I would keep to myself, sort of as a way to protect myself. And I would have moments of insecurity. I would have moments of jealousy at times, and I didn't want to mess that up in my new relationship. So I went to see a therapist and talked about it. And I said to her, I know why I have these feelings. I know why I have separation anxiety and separation issues, because important people in my life were gone. I says, but because I know that, why can't I heal? Why do I still carry all of this emotional baggage with me? And in one sentence, she helped me to understand. She said, you know, that granddaughter that you showed me a picture of earlier, you know how well loved she is? She's loved by her parents, she's loved by you, she's loved by her other children, she's just surrounded by love. And can you imagine someone coming right now and taking your little one, taking your granddaughter, so that you wouldn't see them, they wouldn't grow to know you, they wouldn't grow to know your traditions, what kind of person you are, what your values were? What would be the impact on her? She said, that's trauma. And that's what's continuing to impact you. So it's that trauma that has to heal. And it was just such an eye-opening experience for me, and it has really helped me come to grips with my history. Now, I tell you this because I'm not a residential school survivor. I don't know about that. But I can tell you that, like, I was never sexually, physically, emotionally abused. I was loved, but most survivors, and incidentally, when people graduate from Algonquin College, they're called graduates. They're not called survivors. It's only people who went to Indian residential schools that are called survivors. So that love that I spoke about with you continues. And the saddest part about the residential school system is that, now imagine this. So you're taken when you're very young and put in a very unsecure place. You are not, generally speaking, shown a lot of love. You haven't experienced love. You don't know how to love. And then when the school is over, you go back to your community where often you're shunned because you don't speak the language anymore, you don't know the traditions anymore, and then you start having a family of your own. And you don't know how to do it properly. You don't know how to love them because it's never been shown to you. So there's this level of dysfunction that exists in Indigenous communities. If you can imagine the parents, the thing they love the most was taken away from them. So they would often, engage in non-healthy behaviors. They would self-medicate. They would start the cycle of dysfunction that then would be passed on to their children. And that's why this isn't going to go away in one generation. It's going to take decades of work and commitment by folks like you to make a difference and to make a change in the lives of Indigenous people. I had a very good interview yesterday with Sophia Adams, who I thought was you for a minute. That's why I said what I said. Is that you over there? Hi. Anyway, and she asked me a lot of very good questions. And one of them is, what can we do as our contribution to truth and reconciliation? What is within our realm? And I said, well, the residential school system, the way in which successive federal governments have ignored the plight of Indigenous people on purpose, they could do that because they could. Because there was no backlash, there was no political backlash for them doing it, because nobody else other than the Indigenous people who tried every form of persuasion, tried diplomacy, tried negotiations, got militant, finally were able, and it wasn't until 1951 that Indigenous people were able to access the courts to fight in their struggles for land entitlements and the like. So what we ask of our allies, or our settler allies, is to don't let the government get away with it anymore. Lend your voice to what is happening. Lend your voice to the fact that there's still 50 communities in Canada that don't have access to clean drinking water. Lend your voice to the fact that students who attend provincially funded schools receive $3,000 per student per year more than Indigenous kids. Access to healthcare and housing is a major contributor to some of this dysfunction. So in closing, what I ask of you is to share your love with everyone. Jimmy Gwetch.
Thank you so much, Michael, for sharing your story. Thank you. And thank you so much, children, for being here today. Yay. The children are integral to our communities, and you are the future, and a big part of our collective healing. So thank you all for being here today. I also want to mention that the buttons, Every Child Matters buttons are from Indigenous Artsy, and 100% of the proceeds go towards residential schools and the survivors and their families. So I just want to mention that. So I would like to also let you know that we're going to head over to the sculpture and watch a video about the making of the Remembering the Children sculpture. So if you could follow us.
Perfect. Thank you, Sheila. We're going to take a little walk toward the other side of Ishkaduin. If everyone wants to gather to that side, and we'll get started again for the sculpture unveiling. Don't be shy. Please come on up. Head toward the podium. And David, I'll get you up here as well. David, I'll have you stand over here.
So, oh.
And I'm just going to use the power of the microphone for a second. Alicia, where is Alicia? Come on up, Alicia. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So again, everyone, don't be shy. Crowd around, and we'll get started here.
So I hope everybody can hear me. So we're going to introduce a video on the making of the Remembering the Children sculpture. So we're going to watch a video from Barry Ranger. He's going to be showing us the process and the making of the sculpture. Yeah, thank you all for continuing with us. If we could play the video, that'd be great.
The emotions on this sculpture is that every child matters. That should never be forgotten, and we should always remember this. This piece, the center of this sculpture is a tree, which is my anchor for all the other stuff to tie into. It's all made from mild steel piping, solid shaft, square bar. And in the sculpture, it's got the three vegetables. It's got the squash, the bean, the corn, which is known to the indigenous people as the three sisters. On the right side of the tree, I have a tobacco plant, which is respect to the elders. In various spots of the tree, I have little children's moccasins that are painted, and different placements of the moccasins. There's 5 sets, I believe. And it's just sitting in different spots of the tree. this sculpture, it'll always be a sad spot, but hopefully over time, people can learn and heal by the experience that the media is reporting, and sculptures like mine that draws people to it to show the respect to the Indigenous people, to the elders of the Indigenous people, to everyone.
So I hope you get the sense of how thoughtful this process was and that Algonquin College has really been thinking about this for a long time. So I'd like to introduce again President Brule to share a few remarks.
Thank you very much, Sheila. Very powerful video. And once we move over to the sculpture, I think it will be even more powerful when you see the display in its full form. So today and throughout the year, we honor and we remember the victims of the residential school system. We honor and remember the survivors, as well as their families and their communities that have been deeply traumatized by the generational impact that this system has caused for so many generations. Public commemoration of this tragic and painful history and the ongoing impact of residential school is a vital component of the reconciliation process. Now, I've said it before, that words have the power to heal, but actions speak louder. Collectively, we must come together to continue to learn from the pain and the implications of this devastating set of discoveries. We must show empathy and understanding. We must acknowledge the anguish and the magnitude of the loss and the trauma. We must reflect on what it means for our collective past, present, and future. By facing these realities head-on, we can use this moment as a stepping stone towards truth and reconciliation, both within our campus communities and across Canada. Through our continued actions and with a good mind, we hope to honor these children that never had a future. As part of this effort, the college, through its Office of Truth, Reconciliation, and Indigenization, decided to launch an initiative to honor the children and all the victims and survivors of residential schools by commissioning a piece of art that you saw here in the video, a permanent installation at the college to act as a reminder and to remain on display here in Ishkodawin Courtyard. I've had a chance to meet with the local metal artist, Barry Ranger. He's a tremendous person, beautiful person, innovative, talented, so creative. And we met with him, with our TRI staff, and created this sculpture that captures the many traditional Indigenous elements, such as the nourishing and sustaining plants of corn, squash, and bean, and the spiritual and healing plant of tobacco. And these features are interwoven together with children's moccasins to remind us of the children who were victimized by their system, the residential school system, and some that never came home. We are reminded of the children that never made it home to those schools and still live, those who still live with that tragic legacy. We hope that this will be a gathering place for reflection, to encourage conversation, and to serve as a solemn and sobering reminder about this disturbing part of our history. Now, I would like to extend thanks, many thanks, to Barry Rangers on behalf of Algonquin College. Thank you, miigwech, merci. And Barry, I would like to invite you to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Brule. Hello, everyone. First, I'd like to thank the following people: Ron McLester, Tracy McDougall, Sarah Lynn Levy, Susan Bremore, Mike Gavick, and Maya Mills. It was a great honor to take part of this project in remembering the children. This sculpture is 5'4" tall, 297 pounds. It's all made from hand bang textured mild steel. What to say about it? It's going to be, I believe, the people who have seen it from Algonquin so far, it's breathtaking. And I really hope that everyone enjoys it. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Barry. I'd like us to come closer for the unveiling of the sculpture now. It's just, it's amazing. I remember the first time I looked at it, I was like, wow. So as I mentioned, my grandma's father went to residential school, and I was having conversation with my cousin Kara last night, who I wish was here actually right now. And we just talked about our family and our stories. There's a lot of intergenerational trauma. But today, you know, her girls are going to school with orange shirts, and we're all wearing our orange shirts, and there was a lot of silence in the trauma, and there was a lot of stigma and shame. But we're here today, you know, in our cities, wearing our orange shirts and speaking about our family's history, and talking with pride about our Métis ancestry. And I hope that, you know, when you look upon the Remembering the Children's sculpture, that you have a moment to reflect that you have a moment to talk amongst each other about the significance of this day, that you have moments of love and laughter as well. I wish that all for all of you. I want to mention a few other things. There's so much happening today, and I think it's really important. If you can check it out, check it out. So Mamadosuan Center is having a speaker series. They'll have some chili. It'll be great. It's also live streamed as well. So you can check out Algonquin College to see how to log into that, or just check out the center. At 4 p.m., Carrie Potts and I, the Indigenous Pedagogy and Curriculum Consultants, along with media and film production, along with the TRI, we've all worked together to put on a screening at 4 p.m. at the Black Box Theater N112 to watch Beans. We also did a pre-recorded Q&A with Tracy Deer, the filmmaker. And then afterwards, we're gonna get some food, light refreshments, and head out to the fire and have a discussion with the organizers of Asnapka Festival. So it's a great way to end the evening on this day today. Thank you all so much for being here. This isn't over quite yet. Feel free to continue these conversations, have some reflection, look upon the sculpture, and hang out. Thank you.
May I take that for you? This? Do you want to hold on to it? Like you don't want it? Thank you. Thank you. You're okay. Yeah, don't stand in the... okay, I guess I should maybe not stand.